Welcome back to the Jersey Oddcast, where South Jersey's news, culture, chaos, commentary, and occasional confusion all collide in one place. With Joseph F. Berenato, Gabriel J. Donio, and me, Gina Rullo. This week, we're talking about a tragic discovery involving a New Jersey man found dead, a guilty plea, concerns over massive data centers popping up across the state, or at least their plans are, and a fatal crash in Egg Harbor City. We'll also get into upcoming South Jersey feasts and festivals, a tabletop gaming convention, a Hammonton cancer walk, and why some homes suddenly have giant windowless walls that look like they belong in a dystopian movie. Plus, we have so much more. And because this is the Jersey Oddcast, we also will somehow end up discussing Nicolas Cage in a Spider-Man movie, whether G-rated movies are gone forever, and a pop culture moment of silence for a great driver. So grab an iced coffee, settle in, and prepare for another episode filled with local news, oddball observations, and the kind of conversations that only happen here in South Jersey. This is the Jersey Oddcast. How was your week, gentlemen?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Mostly
Look,
uneventful, which, yeah.
A little dreary Memorial Day weekend, but I am perfectly fine with that.
Oh, as am I. Like, we needed it. I don't want to sound like an old timey coal miner. We needed this, but it was nice. It was gentle. I think drought wise, moisture wise, we were about a foot down from where we needed to be with moisture over the last year or so. So this was a nice slow rain, recharged the soil a little bit. It wasn't too heavy. We didn't have any flooding or runoff. So the timing was a little unfortunate, but we certainly needed that level of rain. So.
Yeah, you feel bad for the people down the shore, but at the same time, it's that rain was necessary. And sometimes it's nice just to take a break and look out the window at the rain.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you though, the up and down temperatures have annoyed. Last week it was in the high 90s. My car at one point registered 101 in the shade, and then on Saturday we got down into the 40s. I don't even know how to adjust with this, and neither does my electric bill.
Fair, very fair.
Mm-hmm.
We had some unfortunate news that a man who had been missing was found deceased. Joe?
Correct. And I apologize in advance if I mispronounce the name. I will do my best. The story of Lisandro Guizar Sarteguin has come to a tragic end. According to police, Sarteguin, 27 of Hammonton, was last seen around 1 p.m. on Friday, February 27th, 2026, in the area of Laurel Avenue. According to reports, he left his home on foot and was wearing a gray jacket, blue jeans, brown boots, and a black hat, and left behind his wallet and cell phone. On April 26th, according to reports, troopers in Delaware were called to Fox Point State Park on Lighthouse Road in Wilmington around 6 p.m. after a park visitor reported finding a body, officials said. The body was described as deceased and decomposed. Officials positively identified the body as Sarteguin. His cause of death is unknown at this time, and an investigation is underway. Anyone with information is urged to contact Detective Jay Luchik at 302-365-8446.
It's not the outcome I think everyone wanted.
No.
You want that moment like you find in a movie, but unfortunately life is not a movie.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's never the outcome that you want, but after 2 months, and this wasn't even reported until a week or two ago, it's usually the outcome that you expect. And I hope that the police are able to find answers for the family.
Yeah, we're sorry for the family's loss.
Yeah. Gabe, what's coming out of Minatola?
Gina, on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026, Jeffrey Phillips, 37, from Minatola, New Jersey, pleaded guilty in front of the Honorable Christine Smith, JSC, to fourth-degree aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer and third-degree leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident. The plea recommends a sentence of 18 months in New Jersey State Prison to run concurrent of a term of 3 years in New Jersey State Prison. This stems from an incident on August 7th, 2025, when the Hammonton Police Department responded to the area of the Hammonton train station for reports of a male attempting to steal an electronic bicycle. The male, identified as Phillips, was standing near the e-bike when police arrived. Phillips noticed the officers and began walking away, eventually quickening his pace and beginning to run from lawful commands by police to stop. During the apprehension, the defendant Phillips spat on and injured at least one of the responding officers. On September 30th, 2025, the New Jersey State Police responded to reports of a motor vehicle accident in the area of U.S. Highway 40 and Tuckahoe Road in Buena Vista Township. While on scene conducting their investigation, officers were approached by Phillips, who admitted he was the driver of the vehicle and had fled the scene of the accident before returning. Sentencing is scheduled for June 23rd, 2026, and Assistant Prosecutor Frank Edward Vizzi Jr. is representing the state in this matter. So really two separate incidents that involve Jeffrey Phillips.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunate news, but news that at least it moves forward. Hopefully justice is done and served in the right way, and this has resolution now for everything involved.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, you don't often hear of somebody returning to the scene of an accident once they've fled. I have to imagine that the judge or prosecutors took that into account at some point.
Sure.
So there's that, at least.
Fair. We're also in the season of people running in and out of their house with their cars a lot more. So please do not leave anything in your car. Lock your doors, your car doors. I was talking to a friend. She lives in Berlin. She got alerted because the cameras went off. There was like an intruder alert. They were on her property, trying to open up the car doors. They had a car waiting in the middle of the road, and they were like trying different car doors. And so, again, it's the season. People are a little brazen. The economy's not that great. Lock your car doors.
Lock your doors, yeah.
Make
Well,
it a little
Always
harder.
good advice.
I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to lock my doors. You do. I shouldn't have to pay taxes, but here we are. Lock your doors.
And
Makes
on
sense.
that note, if you're looking to locate to anywhere in South Jersey, whether it's your home or your business, call Phil Carr at Crowley Car Realtors.
If you're looking to buy or sell your home or commercial property in South Jersey, call Phil Carr, owner of Crowley & Carr Real Estate. Crowley & Carr is the best place in town to find the best place in town. Call them at 609-561-0505 or go to Facebook or Instagram.
So, data centers, guys.
Yeah. Data centers.
I
Lot
feel
going
like
on.
it all over the news. Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank has got something going on in Utah. But New Jersey seems to be, as usual, the center of the world on this debate. Joe, what do we got?
We've been talking about them on the Oddcast for more than a year, and now
Yeah.
more municipalities in the state have begun to enact steps to ban data centers. At the front of the concerns about massive warehouse-sized data centers are issues about electricity demand, industrial noise, and water consumption, particularly for communities situated over the Kirkwood-Cohansey Aquifer, which I believe is the third largest freshwater aquifer on the planet. The conflict at hand is whether the tax revenue and job growth is worth the environmental and economic impacts to the surrounding areas. Now, last week, Millville adopted a ban after debating the issue for a month. According to reports, a company called A1 Data started floating the idea of a 66-acre project which, according to its website, would have spanned close to 3 million square feet with, quote, heights expandable up to 150 feet for multi-story data center operations. That's a city. That's massive. Now, however, according to Dan Dixon, the mayor of Millville, the ordinance against data centers was not in response to any one proposal, but was about being cautious for the future. According to reports, the ordinance in Millville actually amends the city's master plan to better define warehouses and so forth to specifically deny data centers, and Millville isn't alone. Harrison Township, Logan Township, and Monroe Township have adopted data center bans. Pemberton Township prohibited the construction and operation of data centers back in February. And just last month, both Waterford and Phillipsburg adopted ordinances that specifically ban data centers in all zoning districts. And all of this, of course, comes following the construction of that data center in Vineland, which is being expanded to roughly 2.6 million feet. So a lot of municipalities aren't just saying our land use law doesn't prohibit it, so they would need a use exemption. They're saying we're specifically prohibiting these so that no exemption can be granted. And there's a wide difference between the two.
Yeah, for me, I'd like to see a lot of the local municipalities get on board with that. And then we need to collectively decide as a society where we are going to put them. We can't get away from them. We need them,
Yeah.
period. We do. So where
If
are
you're
we
going
going
to
to
have
put
AI.
them? And yeah, and
Yeah,
AI is not going anywhere. Like it's here. It's
yeah, we
done.
we yeah, we've all seen Terminator. We know.
I saw it once, whenever that was, like 100 years ago, and I don't
Yeah.
really remember it. But okay, but we need it, so we need to figure out where it's going to be. Now, not to be too NIMBY about it, I don't want it here where I live in Hammonton. So
Yeah,
I hope our council puts together some ordinances and bans it. I hope the same for the towns that are next to me too. Looking at you, Mullica, Folsom, Egg Harbor City,
This
Winslow,
story
right? You
has
know what I
taken
mean?
an
yeah.
this
Oh,
story has taken an amazing turn in a year, if you think about it. Like when we
Oh
started
my God,
talking about
yeah,
it to now, and the proliferation of data centers, but also the exposure in the media about this. I think it was very little and minimal a year ago, and now it's like this issue of that's in the top of every municipality's list. So something has to be done, and
yeah,
I think that I agree with both of you in that if you're going to look at this, you have to look at what other municipalities are doing and then decide it's not enough just to say, oh, they have to get a variance. It may you may need to put something on the books to ban it.
yeah. Because in any municipality, anywhere, the planning and zoning board that is here today may not be the one that is here next year or the year before, and same with the council or township committee. The current
Right.
sitting members may be vehemently opposed and will not grant the use variance. But that doesn't mean that's not going to happen next year. So the only way is to do what Millville and other townships have done, and is be proactive and decide if this is what you do not want, then you need to write it in as prohibited in all zoning districts. Otherwise, may come a time, and we've had businesses that have gotten use variances. It happens.
yeah,
Hmm.
So there comes a time where that may occur, and if you don't want that to ever happen, you need to codify it now.
yeah.
Agreed.
They have to have more restrictive rules. We see this with businesses that cater to an adult audience.
Let's say.
Hamilton has some pretty strong restrictions on where
Hmm.
it can be. And that was fine. You know what I mean? There are places where it can go, those types of businesses, but it can't go in X location or Y location. It has to go only in Z locations.
So many feet from a church, from a park, so forth and so on.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
we need that spelled out because we do. And it's, you know what? The same thing with some of those warehouses. Like, we need to get more specific, otherwise, people will find creative ways to work around our rules.
yeah.
And in New Jersey, rules are just guidelines of things that we need to get around. Or as someone once said to us, no is not an answer. It's just a what game?
An obstacle about
Yeah.
it in Hammonton.
So,
Yeah, that's right. No isn't
Or
an answer. It's just an obstacle.
yeah,
which
or
is
the
really hard for women because no is supposed to mean no.
yeah,
So
you
I
know,
don't know.
or the old tried and true. I know Leroy Jethro Gibbs used to say it all the time on NCIS, and I know it predates him, but
Of course, that's reality.
it is better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
You have to ask for
So
permission.
yeah,
Right. In this case, look, open your eyes, look around at what's going on, and just make a rational decision about whether or not these are this is something we want in our community and where. And if not, then put it on the books that you don't. That's simple as that.
yeah,
And
and
are
it,
AI data centers equal to nuclear power plants, or are they more equal to adult entertainment businesses in terms of how people are opposing them? Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think people are more. I think in that vein, they're probably closer to a nuclear power plant, because it seems with, say, an adult bookstore, half the people are for it, half the people are against it. But you don't hear too many people saying, "Yeah, let's bring Skynet to Hammonton." And I think it's even more important now that people be proactive in paying attention, since the legal notice laws changed, and now you've got to go looking for them.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
no longer in papers, so you have to go and find them. So the onus of responsibility is on you, instant reader, to pay attention to what the government is doing. You've got to go find it because it's no longer
Right.
just out there.
Oh well. In a much lighter note, it is feast season, and we have two coming up in June.
Yes, there's two religious feasts: the Feast of Saint Anthony and the Feast of Saint John the Baptist. The Let's start with the Feast of Saint Anthony with its Saint Anthony Novena from June 4th to the 12th. It's on Saturday, June 13th. There's a 5 p.m. vigil mass and a 6 p.m. procession with the blessing of Saint Anthony bread at Saint Anthony of Padua Church. Now, there's no vigil mass at Saint Joseph Church that day, so that evening. They're going to celebrate a special mass in honor of Saint Anthony, including a procession with the statue of St. Anthony, live music and prayer, and concluding with the exposition and benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. Light refreshments will be served after the Mass in St. Anthony Hall. So that's Saturday, June 13th. Now, June 24th is the 117th Feast of St. John the Baptist, also in Hammonton, like St. Anthony. And it's going to be a Holy Mass and procession at 5:30 p.m. at St. Joseph Church, and an after party at Knights of Columbus Hall at 226 Pratt Street in Hammonton. The menu includes sandwiches, water and soda, wine and beer, which all can be purchased at the hall, and the third annual Pass the Prosciutto competition, sponsored by Carmela's Pizza, will be held. So this is pretty interesting. There's now the Feast of St. Anthony, the Feast of St. John the Baptist. Obviously, we know the Feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel is coming up in July. Interesting to see these things making a resurgence. I think that's a good way to say it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've said it before every year since they brought back the Feast of St. John, and I'll say it again, Charlie, you got to bring the fireworks back.
Oh
Used
my
to be
God, you're so selfish.
why? It was a thing. They had a huge procession. They had stuff at the bingo hall when that was the thing.
Yep.
They had fireworks that night. It was huge. It was absolutely huge. That may have like when you moved to Hammonton, that was like near the end of that era of the St. John Society.
St. John and Assumption.
Yeah, like they still had their pig roast every year, but when we were kids, like it was a thing. I think the procession used to go all the way around town, not
Yes,
just a few
it
blocks
wasn't
around
just
the
around
church.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was true
So
for
Sorry, I've
Assumption.
sneezed like
Yeah,
7 times in a row.
that's true for Assumption as well. And we were there the year that one time they brought the statues out for Assumption in August, and no one came to move them. It was like, and then the next year
heartbreaking.
that procession did not occur. But it's interesting. This is part of a national resurgence. It seems like I've seen this. They say that the younger generations are starting to turn back toward especially the Catholic faith. So there's
Yeah.
been articles and information out there about that nationally, and Hammonton is no exception.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that.
I think it's exciting. I love St. John's because it is okay. We're just like 2 weeks away from the feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and now we have St. Anthony, which is just fun to have too. You know what I mean? That they're doing it, and it's about community. It's about bringing people together, and the more of it, the better. And as long as we're passing it down, Charlie, we talk about Charlie Sabara for St. John. He is what in his 30s now.
I don't know.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's getting ready, someone who's in their early 20s, like he was when he did
Yeah.
all this. You know what I mean? Just so that we get this, keep it going. Because I think
Yes.
we didn't do that as a
Yeah.
country.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Charlie has conscripted Councilman Calderon, who is in his 20s, and he spends his time between the St. John Society and the Society of St. Anthony the Abbot. So we do have at least some younger blood to work along with Charlie for that, which is good.
Yeah. So I knew, because I knew JD was in St. Anthony Abbott.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I didn't know he was also St. John. So that's great. You know what I mean? And we need 5 more people like that. We need to keep it going for each generation, for each decade.
It's just nice to see the
But
resurgence.
it's exciting.
It really is. It's really nice to see it.
I agree.
And to read up about all of these events, you can always check out the local church bulletin. And you might need a pair of glasses to do that if you're old and busted like us.
We're all wearing eyeglasses, and we all go to Hammonton Family Eye Care. See Hammonton Family Eye Care for routine and medical eye care for all ages. From glasses to contacts to eye exams and more, visit Hammonton Family Eye Care, Peachtree Plaza, 80 South Whitehorse Pike in Hammonton. Call 609-567-7479 or go to HammontonFamilyEyeCare.com.
Thank you. So there's a game convention in Vineland for tabletop games. Did I read that right, Joe?
Yes, you did. Yeah, this weekend at the Violent Convention Center, the Concoction Tabletop Gaming Convention will bring together players, creators, and exhibitors for a full weekend of board games, role playing games, live play sessions, and community driven events. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or just getting started, Concoction offers something for everyone, including open gaming, scheduled events, vendors, and special programming. The convention center is ADA accessible and offers free parking, so join the fun and experience an exciting weekend of gaming and creativity. Hours for Concoction are as follows. On Friday, May 29th, it runs from 10 a.m. to midnight. Saturday, May 30th, it runs from 8 a.m. to midnight. And on Sunday, May 31st, it runs from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Vineland Convention Center is located at 631 East Landis Avenue. Badges start at $40 for adults, and kids 10 and under are just $5. For tickets and more info, visit tabletop.events/conventions/concoction. Now, if you go to the website, you'll see that when they talk about board games, they're not talking about Parcheesi or Monopoly.
I love those.
Yeah, and you can play them at home whenever
I don't
you
think I've
wish.
played Parcheesi in probably 20 years. When's the last time you guys played Parcheesi?
Oh, good Lord.
I've,
Probably high school. Yeah.
yeah, long time.
I was like 40 years ago for you, Joe.
That's more like 40
I
years ago for me. 35 for me.
I simply wish to point out that I am the youngest member of this group, so whatever
Oh,
you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Although I act like
That's
I act like
classic.
I'm the youngest member of the group.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
Yeah, I just pulled that one out, didn't I?
I know
Yeah.
where you pulled it from. Okay, go ahead. It's not Parcheesi. It's good. It's more
Yeah,
like
no,
What kind of
it's
board
more
games?
games that I did not recognize, truthfully. But fantasy, sci-fi, murder mystery, that sort of thing. A lot of TTRPGs, which are tabletop role-playing games. Dungeons and Dragons is in there, of course. So
it's like
yeah,
magic there.
perhaps I don't know. I don't remember everything that was listed there.
Okay.
But it looks like a good time. I'm sure there'll be lots of people, probably be some cosplayers, because you can't have a convention without the occasional cosplayer. And it's right in Vineland. So
Very cool. I love that they're doing
Nice.
these things. They've had a bunch of different events. I think they had a bridal, a health
mhm,
thing, a big thrifting thing, which I didn't get to. So it's cool. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of something for everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Gabe,
using that
fortunately,
convention center for the purpose it was intended.
Yeah.
It's great.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go Vineland. In Egg Harbor City, we had a fatal car accident.
Yes, on Sunday, May 17th, 2026, at approximately 5:58 p.m., emergency crews responded to the intersection of Route 30 and New York Avenue. A preliminary investigation revealed that a motorcyclist traveling westbound on Route 30 was struck by an eastbound vehicle. The motorcyclist, Alexander Oswald, 33, of Mullica Township, suffered fatal injuries. The driver of the eastbound vehicle, Uriel Mendez Martinez, 21, of Atlantic City, sustained injuries and was transported to Atlantic Care Regional Medical Center. Assisting agencies included the Mullica Township Police Department, the New Jersey State Police, the Egg Harbor City Fire Department, Atlantic Care EMS, and the Galloway Township Ambulance Squad. The crash remains under active investigation by the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office, Fatal Crash Unit, and the Egg Harbor City Police Department. Anyone with information regarding the crash is urged to contact the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office or the Egg Harbor City Police Department. So just a tragic accident.
Very upsetting. You know what I mean? And I hate to hear about a loss of life. And what else can we say?
Yeah.
If you are looking to add a fence to your home this late spring or early summer, please contact Master Wire.
Absolutely, because for more than 40 years, Masterwire Manufacturing and Fence Company has been providing the South Jersey and tri state area with residential and commercial fence supplies and services. Whether you're looking for quality products to do it yourself or are in need of a trustworthy fencing company to install your fence, they've got you covered. Masterwire Manufacturing Fence Company provides the highest quality products and customer service to each and every person who walks through their doors or gives them a call. Contact Masterwire at 609 567 1616 or visit their website at masterwirefence.net.
Thanks, Joe. And of course, if you're feeling a little peckish and you need something to eat, or maybe you're really hungry,
Peckish.
you can head over to this peckish. You can head over to the Silver Coin Diner.
That's right, Gina. Located in the heart of South Jersey between Philadelphia and Atlantic City, the Silver Coin Diner is a family owned restaurant that has served South Jersey since 1982. It gleams like a 50s diner on the outside and is warm and inviting on the inside. The Silver Coin is famous for serving quality food at family friendly prices. This rock star of a diner is on the cutting edge of restaurant trends, constantly updating its menu and introducing new healthy specials. Everyone at the Silver Coin is eager to please, so if you are in the area or passing through, stop in their location at 20 South Whitehorse Pike in Hammonton and let them treat you like family. Contact the Silver Coin Diner at 609-561-6974 or visit their website at silvercoindiner.net.
Thanks. So I was driving around town as one does, and I was noticing the new homes that they're building on Packard Street. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Again, they came and I thought they said they were going to build to the character of the community.
That
And there
was
are like there's one window on the side of the house, maybe two. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this does not match the character of the community. But then I went and because I'm weird, I drove to some of the other neighborhoods that are newer in town, newer being in the last couple decades. I noticed that they don't have a lot of windows on the side of the
Yep.
house, which
Yeah.
is
Well,
fine if it's an all new neighborhood. But in a neighborhood like Bellevue and Packard, where the houses are all old, it does not match the character of the community. So,
yeah.
like to me, that's just it doesn't fit, and I don't get it. I live in a house with way too many windows.
I can understand because even the accoutrement that go in houses have changed drastically. So like when your house was built or the house that I'm in was built or most of the houses that 50 predate the 1950s, they were built without even televisions in mind. And then for the longest time, televisions were that big console on the floor, and when that broke, you just put the new one on top of that. But now
Right.
most people yeah, most people now they mount their television, so I can understand at least in some rooms like that, you don't want exterior walls to have windows because you need to have the television mounted on the wall, and you don't want to glare because I know I've got windows in every room and I can't watch television before dark because all I see is the window and me in the reflection. But I also agree with what you're saying, and I had this conversation, Gabe, with your mother a couple of months ago about
Right.
houses and windowless houses,
Joe
and
really is going to be your stepdad someday, Gabe.
It could be.
go to your room.
Be nice.
And we were talking about windowless houses, and she is no fan. And I said, what I don't understand is you can't get a good cross breeze if you don't have windows on every exterior wall. And she's like, Joe, that's because nobody does a cross breeze anymore. I'm like, and that's why everybody's electric bill is so high because you
Right.
can't cool it off naturally. You can't do that. You have rooms that have no windows whatsoever. How do you live in those rooms? I don't get
I
it.
just I think the points that you make are excellent, particularly about the TVs and about the cross breeds. And I just think the era changed during the last 2, 3 decades,
Uh-huh.
where furniture became more important than where are we putting the furniture inside the house became more important than aesthetically pleasing or cross breezes or things like that. Because again,
Yeah.
people just use their air conditioning and things like that to cool the house down. And they want to put their furniture where they want to put their furniture. So they want these walls without breaks in them from windows. From the exterior, it's just an
Hmm.
odd looking house, particularly when you have
Yeah.
windows on the first floor and no windows on the second floor. And just that's going to get
Yeah.
sided, and it looks like a vast expanse of just wall. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. And again, maybe I wouldn't have been as perturbed if they hadn't said character of the community. Because if you're going to do that, then actually do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, if you look at other newer homes, they don't have windows in the side of the house at all.
But to
So
me, that character
if
of that community is that neighborhood. It
Oh,
should look like
yeah,
that neighborhood. If you go to our block where we live, you know which house is a new construction immediately because it
hmm,
doesn't have any windows on the side of the house.
yeah, yeah,
And that's a very obvious thing. You know what I mean?
well,
It's not because it's not the same. Like,
and you can do it. They remodeled a house on the corner of Packard and Peach here, and were sensitive, I think, to what the historic nature of the house was, and put windows in it. You know
Fantastic
what I mean.
example.
And you can do
Yeah.
it if you want to do it, but I just think it's expensive. I think that's part of it too. More windows adds, I'm sure, to the expense of the
Oh
house.
yeah,
And
because you have not only the cost of the window, now you need different plans so that the make sure it's not a load-bearing wall and that the window is structurally safe. You need more lumber
You
for
gotta
every
cut it. Every
window.
time you cut the wood, it's a different cost. Yeah,
Yep,
you gotta
cut
frame it
the
out.
cut the siding. You need more of that. Absolutely, the more windows you have, the more expensive the building costs. 100%.
I
You're
just
correct.
think
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
well. Well, just
this
annoying. I'm just putting it
neighborhood,
out.
and it's annoying because this neighborhood is historic in nature. It
Very
has a
old.
lot of historic homes in it. These are newer homes. Look, I think there's ways to make this still work. I was thinking to myself, look, on the other end of Packard, on the other side of Route 54 Bellevue Avenue, the homes are clustered together, close, and they have mass, but they also have windows on the sides of them. Look, I think that they have to be sensitive, at least to the fact that a lot of eyeballs are on this project now, and
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of discussion, like we're having, about it from now until forever. It's the
Oh
rest of
yeah.
that neighborhood has been there for more than 100 years, so they
Yeah.
can't be surprised that people are talking about it, as they talked about the trees coming down too.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love to talk. Oh
Yes,
well.
they do.
Joe,
So the
what's
way,
going?
We
Fair enough.
do.
Fair
Yes,
enough.
we do. Yeah.
What's going on with the school district and some bidding?
The Hammonton Board of Education has put out a request for competitive bid pricing for athletic supplies. According to the 2026-2027 athletic budget, this encompasses just about everything from an Ultrac 495 stopwatch for boys cross country, to shoulder pads for football, to Storm Max Pro finger tape for bowling, to Gate Glory 2 goggles for girls lacrosse, and any and everything in between. According to the bid advertisement, all necessary bid specs and forms may be secured upon written request to Terry J. Weeks, Interim School Business Administrator / Board Secretary, Hammonton Town Board of Education, 566 Old Forks Road, Hammonton Town, I've never seen that written out before, New Jersey 08037, or they can email dmazza at hammontonps.org. Now, bids must be submitted in a sealed envelope and delivered to the office of the Interim School Business Administrator / Board Secretary on or before June 10th. The envelope is to bear the following information: title, athletic supplies, bid number 26-0603, the name and address of the bidder, the bid opening date, which is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026, and the bid opening time, which is 10:30 a.m. And the bid envelope must be addressed to the above Hammonton Town Board of Ed, attention, interim school business administrator / board secretary, blah, blah, blah. Again, the bid will open at 10:30 a.m. on June 10th in the Board of Education business office at Hammonton High School, and bids must be received no later than 10:30 a.m. on June 10th. So they're looking for bids for everything.
is
Yeah, it's
this
interesting. I just don't remember this,
yeah, is this a new
so I
thing?
thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember this either. It's an exhaustive list
Yeah.
for every sport you can think of, and
Quitting.
that they play at the school.
Yeah,
I did not
and
see
that
esports on
exists
there
in
though.
real life.
Um, yeah, even for the weight room, they're looking for bids for equipment for and supplies for that as well. So all the information I imagine is available on their website. Contact them if you want to place a bid. But there's a lot of stuff in there. I've never seen anything like that.
I'm just curious as to why did everything. Maybe there are times of like everything like okay, look, this we need new volleyballs, we need new soccer nets. Let's just do everything all at once and get it done. And we can restart. I guess that happens.
Yeah, it could be their traditional supplier either went out of business or came back with some crazy figure like, okay, now this tape is going to cost you $20 instead of 5 or whatever.
Yeah, soccer balls are $500 each or whatever. Yeah, like, we
Yeah,
don't know. So
no idea.
okay, really cool. Just thought it was interesting. Wanted to talk about it. See what
Yeah,
happens.
It's
Okay,
interesting just
sorry.
from the standpoint that were these things budgeted for, and now we're bidding for them. I That's the other question I had. Is this all in the budget already, or is this
well,
in
the
addition
the
to?
the budget that I saw had the items listed, but no prices or costs for any of them.
Okay.
So that's an excellent. Yeah, is it additional equipment? Is it replacement equipment? I have no idea.
Okay.
But
They probably have an idea of like X thousands of dollars, and then
yeah,
they just need to get that number honed down.
yeah. But if you're putting something like this out for bid, I don't imagine you'd want to put prices on there because you may be expecting to pay higher than someone will charge you. So you just put it out with no prices whatsoever and see how the bids come back.
Yeah.
You've got your own internal stuff where you figure, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
never let them say this is what I'm willing to pay. No, because that may not. You may end up paying too much.
Fair. If you're going to be hitting the road this summer, or if you are looking to get a price to insure your house or whatever it may be, you should call Michael DeRose.
Yes, and you should see Diversified Insurance for all your commercial and personal insurance needs. They are a value added firm. They provide unsurpassed service, consult with you to determine your needs, and offer you a choice of insurance plans and programs. They are a value hunter who can find the best combination of coverage, service, and price. Contact them today at 609 567 7771 or visit their website at diversifiedinsuranceofnj.com.
And if you are getting ready to go to that family cookout, or maybe you're just making dinner for your family, you need to go to Bagliani's and get the supplies that you need.
At Bagliani's Market, they always say we treat our customers like family. With a variety of custom cut meats, farm fresh produce, delicious cheeses, a full deli, and more, Bagliani's Market has something for everyone. They are famous for their wide variety of authentic Italian specialty products. Try their Italian bread and rolls, prepared foods, and homemade pasta. Follow their social media for weekly loyalty reward promos. Bagliani's Market is located at 417 12th Street in Hammonton. Call 609 561 0693 or visit Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Thank you. So, Joe, I think we all know this. The next story that I brought up, I think we all know why I picked you for it.
No, I don't. I don't know that I have much of a history with these individuals, but Rutgers wants you to, and my apologies to Captain Noah, send your ticks in to NJ Ticks for Science. That's right. NJ Ticks NJ Ticks for Science is a citizen science project organized by the Rutgers Center for Vector Biology. The goal of the project is to create a tick map showing the changing distribution of ticks
That's right.
and tick-borne pathogens across the state and bring more awareness to tick-borne disease. If you
I
encounter
can't imagine why you're the one doing.
If you encounter a tick in New Jersey, you can send today, send right away, and they will test it for disease-causing pathogens free of charge. With your help,
Lovely.
they will learn where and when people are exposed to ticks and tick-borne diseases. For more information, visit ticks.rutgers.edu, and if you see a tick, send a tick.
I just think that's a fascinating thing.
Amazing.
Rutgers gonna get this whole thing of mail, like stacks of envelopes filled with ticks.
Yeah.
Whose job is that to open? Ew. And ew. But
It's
science, so cool.
Yeah,
it's the tick
some,
version of if you see something, say something.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, cool. It's so weird and creepy, and I feel like, what if they find the bug that has the bite that makes them into, instead of Spider-Man, it's a tick man? I don't
Mm.
know.
We'll talk about Spider-Man
Like, I'm
later in the
curious.
show. You never know. It would have to be a
Yeah,
radioactive
I
tick.
guess. It would absolutely have to be a radioactive tick. Yes.
That could happen.
Although you're probably more likely to develop melanoma than tick powers, but it is what it is.
I hope nobody finds any, but if you go on the cancer walk that's coming up and you end up with a tick, you can send it in.
The Hammonton
That was
Cancer
a bird.
Foundation is holding the Dawn Baldwin Walk for Our Neighbors coming up on Saturday, June 6th, 2026, rain or shot. The time is at 9 a.m. with an 8 a.m. registration and check-in, and the place is the Hammonton Middle School at 75 North Liberty Street. Adults are $20 per person, teams of 5 or more, $15 per person, and students ages 11 to 18 are $10 per student. So you can honor loved ones and support local families. For more information, visit HammontonCancerFoundation.org. And now this is near and dear to obviously our hearts because we knew Dawn Baldwin, and it's
Love
nice to
Dawn.
see that this walk has been named in her honor. As a cancer survivor myself, I've walked this walk, and it's a great event. And I just would ask as many people as possible to come out and make a difference. It's something that's not just great from a fundraising standpoint, but it's great from a support standpoint.
Yeah.
It's been over 4 years since I last got a text from Dawn, and we had a 25-year friendship, and it just, yeah, it kills me every time to think that she's not here. She's not dancing with the students at her school. But the fact that her legacy lives on in this walk, I'm very proud to see that the Hammonton Cancer Foundation did that. And Gabe and I have been to the walk a few times. I'm sure you have too, Joe. It's a great event. Get out there, rain or shine, and just do that couple laps around the middle school track. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dawn certainly left a legacy. She was the choreographer for high school plays for the longest time. Thanks to Dawn, I know how to waltz and box step. So.
1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah.
Yeah. She
All
influenced
right.
a
I don't
lot
know
of
why the King and I just popped into mind, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, she was very special people. Another very special person, of course, is Paul DiMeglio, who was a past guest of this show. He operates and owns DiMeglio Septic and Quality Sanitation.
Yes, and DiMeglio Septic and Quality Sanitation are here for a variety of services, including septic pump out, grease trap service, high pressure jetting, portable toilets, and more. Call 609-561-3597 or go to DiMeglioSeptic.com for DiMeglio Septic, or call 609-561-4666 for quality sanitation. Experience the DiMeglio difference, a promise of superior service, quality, and reliability.
Thank you. Gabe, busy weeks coming up in South Jersey. What's going on with the community calendar?
The community calendar is brought to you by Rocco's Townhouse. And Rocco's Townhouse prides themselves on being a spot where everyone can meet and eat. Delicious appetizers, entrees, burgers, and more, along with a full bar and plenty of craft beers on tap. In fact, Gina and I were just there with my mom, another reference to my mom, and she was having another milestone birthday, and we were happy to hang out with her and be at Rocco's Townhouse just this past weekend. Remember, everyone meets at the Townhouse, 21 North 3rd Street in Hammonton. Call them at 609-561-9384 or visit roccostownhouse.com. And let me slip in here because I know I'll be corrected. It wasn't necessarily a huge milestone birthday. It was her birthday. So I just want to make sure I make that point. But the
oh yes, because your mom has never corrected us in 29 years of anything.
Yeah,
never
not
see
once,
that.
not once.
We never see that. So I just want to get out in front ahead of time. And now here's your Rocco's Townhouse community calendar, bringing you some of the great events happening around South Jersey. On Thursday, May 28th, Sharrett Winery in Blue Anchor is hosting Comedy Night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy an evening of stand-up comedy featuring host Helene Angley, along with opener Lauren Strenger, feature act Tony Rogers, and headliner Jay Black. The event is for guests 21 and over. Tickets and details are available through Sharrett Winery. Starting Friday, May 29th, St. Anthony Greek Orthodox Church in Vineland kicks off their annual Greek Festival at 430 West Wheat Road. Friday runs from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. The festival features traditional Greek music, dancing, authentic cuisine, vendors, rides, and raffle prizes. Wednesday, June 4th, brings the Historical Society of Hammonton's monthly speaker series at the Canoe Club Seniors Building at Hammonton Lake Park. Refreshments begin at 6:45 p.m. with the presentation starting at 7. This month's topic is From Maine to Hammonton, the story of Dr. Joseph Henry North and his family, exploring one of Hammonton's earliest and most influential families. The event is free and open to the public, though membership or RSVP is required. On Saturday, June 6th, the Inn on St. Louis in Egg Harbor City is hosting Girls' Day Out from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Enjoy line dancing, music, photo props, cold drinks, door prizes, and plenty of country-themed fun hosted by Kelly Glover. And on Sunday, June 7th, St. Mary of Mount Carmel Parish will host their chicken barbecue from noon to 5 p.m. at St. Anthony of Padua Church grounds on Route 206 in Hammonton. Pre-sale chicken platters are available for $15 through June 1st. The event will also feature hot dogs, hamburgers, sausage and peppers, clams, funnel cake, and a beer garden. That's your Rocco's Townhouse community calendar. If you have an event you'd featured, reach out to the Jersey Oddcast and we'll include it. But guys, it's pretty interesting. I want to point out there's Dr. Joseph Henry North is the reason North Street is named for that gentleman. And so there's a lot of good history surrounding that family. Should be very interesting evening.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. And just going back for a second, I want it noted for the record that I did text your mom happy birthday and she replied, so she got it. So
Oh, that's
can't
very
leave
nice.
my girl hanging.
Okay.
Oh my God. Nice. Very nice of you, Joe.
I would say that I love a chicken barbecue, and St. Anthony's is always a good one. And like those big metal racks where they're cooking the chicken and then they flip
Oh,
them
yeah.
over. Oh my God,
Mhm.
so good.
It's
Yeah.
a classic
It's like
event.
such
What
a
they're
summer
doing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and St. Anthony Park area behind the church is so beautiful.
Yeah, and if you didn't know that it was there, you'd never know it was back there. It is massive behind that church. There's a huge fairground back there.
Yeah, and I don't know how to go into it from the back road. I only know how to go into it from the church side.
Yeah, I get lost going that way too, so don't feel bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's
I
great.
thought it was just me because
Nope.
I'm not
No.
originally from town, so.
Oh,
You know
okay.
that's on the other side of the pike, so I'm not familiar with it either. Over there.
So
Over,
awful.
that's over on that end.
Yep.
Last week, Kyle Busch, NASCAR driver, passed away, and shockingly at age 41. He was a legend in his sport, and just the whole NASCAR world was shaken. And so were a lot of people because 41, very young for a man to die. According to reports, he died from complications of sepsis progressing from severe pneumonia.
Yeah.
His family said in a statement on May 23rd. But this was a man who, a phenomenal rider, young kids. He raced twice in Dover in May. I think he won the truck series on May 15th, and then he finished in the top 20 in the All-Star race 2 days later. Just
Yeah, like
amazing.
he was just out and about a few days before he passed, and for pneumonia to progress to sepsis, that had to be going on in the background while he was doing all of that. That doesn't just happen in 2 days.
No, I
So
had
he's
pneumonia a decade ago, and I did not know I had pneumonia. I thought I had bronchitis, but I couldn't get better. And then I ended up getting nothing came up on the x-ray, and I did a CT, and I had little pockets of pneumonia rather than
Okay.
just one big pneumonia, like little tiny nickel and quarter size, not big. But my blood count when they admitted me to the hospital was like 22,000, my white blood cell count. They're like, you're borderline, you're getting close to septic.
Oh my word.
And I felt fine, other than the fact that I had what I thought was like a cold or something. I did not realize I had pneumonia, so I get it. So now you're talking about
you
an
went through it.
athlete, someone who's in the peak physical health.
Yeah.
I could see it.
That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's something similar happened to Jim Henson too. He thought he was fine. He had a little cough, and then he was not fine, clearly.
And we have to live every day. This is a Hall of Famer. This
Yeah.
guy is not just a driver. He is a future Hall of Famer, someone who is
Yeah.
at the top of his game. He's 41 years old, and I think it's just a tragic situation. It's amazing that he was able to perform at such a high level when he was that sick. But
Yeah.
they said he was in a simulator and had a medical event in the simulator and was unresponsive. So I think that I read that was the thing that brought him to the hospital, but by then it was just too late. So we pray for him and his family, and it's just a tragic loss, not only for NASCAR, but just a tragic loss for his family.
Yeah.
In other news, we have Nicolas Cage in Spider Noir, a weird Spider-Man spin-off. As one article said, Nicolas Cage is the king of crazy, brilliant characters, and I agree with that.
Yeah, because I can't think of a single normal character he's ever played. Maybe Leaving Las Vegas. He was even off in National Treasure. But go all the way back to Peggy Sue Got Married or
Oh yeah.
Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
always
he's
been a little,
Woo!
quirky.
yeah,
Joe, tell us about
yeah.
this Spider-Man noir. The spider is the name of the
I don't
character
know
in
it.
this.
Yeah,
It's from
I
2009.
I have not watched it yet. I am vaguely familiar with the comic book, but
Okay.
it basically takes place in an alternate like 1940s 1950s era, and it's a film noir. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I think you can watch it in color or in black and white. You definitely want to watch any kind of film noir in black and white because noir, film noir, black film. So that's what they're going for, like the 1940s private dick aesthetic for the whole thing.
Like he hung up his like webby things, but he's like a private eye, but he has no heart in it. Like he's chasing cheating husbands and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
No, you said it. You said it.
Look out.
Darn
We're
it.
not we're not rated G, so you're allowed to say that.
That's right. We'll clean it up in
Yeah.
post-production.
But yeah, no, it's any. How do I want to say this? I'm always excited about any variations on a theme when it comes to superheroes, especially if it puts them back in the 40s, which is a time that Spider-Man didn't even exist. He didn't come out until the 60s. But you take Batman back to the 40s, put him in the era and that he was created, and I think he really shines. You put Superman in the late 1930s and give him those retro-futuristic robots to fight,
Yeah.
like in the old Fleischer cartoons, I think he really shines. You take Spider-Man out of his element and you give him this alternate world, and I think it's a neat concept. I really do. And
That's great.
Nicolas Cage is famously a comic book fan and has been years ago when he sold part of his massive collection, including Action Comics #1. The mere fact that they came from his collection added value.
Yeah.
It wasn't you weren't just buying the first appearance of Superman, you were buying the one from the Cage collection. So Nick Cage knows his stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. Some of my top Nick Cage movies, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay.
I loved that movie so much. I wish there was a second one.
Ah,
National Treasure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I wish there wasn't a second one for that.
And of course, Shock.
Yeah, but
Gabe, right? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, do the lights for us. What do you do, Gabe? You bake bread?
I hear I bake bread and bread. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. I'm not no monument
such
to
a great-
justice. I'm paraphrasing.
Brilliant in that. Yeah,
and-
I know. I love
and-
it though.
yeah,
That's why I
and-
love you.
And just to solidify how much of a comic book fan he is, Nick Cage is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. And I don't remember if his last name is Coppola or Shire or what it is, but he took Cage when he became an actor after Luke Cage, Power Man, the comic book character.
Yeah.
So
Such a nerd.
who is, me or him?
You.
Both, I think.
Who else?
You're both tied
You know
for
your
last.
things, I know mine. Yeah, you know about The Devil Wears Prada and T Swift. I know about this.
Everybody's
I
got
know
their
that's what you're calling it.
Yeah,
everybody's
their
got
thing.
their thing. And it's good that we have it all here in one package on the Oddcast. Thank goodness.
That is very true, Gabe. So, is the rating of G movies gone forever?
I don't know. Probably not. But it's not. It certainly doesn't proliferate the way it used to. Isn't that right?
No.
Toy Story 4 was the last all ages G rated hit in the theaters in 2019.
Okay.
Since then, according to published reports, the rating has almost exclusively been used for short films, non-narrative documentaries, and preschool titles like Paw Patrol and Gabby's Dollhouse. I remember G ratings forever. I think it started when the system started in 68,
I think.
and it got really tight. And when there's just like Shrek was a PG, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Star Trek: The
Shrek-
Motion Picture was rated G.
Was
Yeah.
G, right? General audience.
Yeah. Because at some point we have become inoculated against profanity and violence. And used to be a time that a rated G film basically meant there wasn't a whole lot of that. Like even Star Trek the Motion Picture, I think Kirk might have said damn once, and that was it. I mean, there was really no violence to speak of. But some point along the way, G became equated with children's movies. And even then, like you look at Shrek, like there's
Donkey.
yeah, there are some things in there that children shouldn't understand and are thrown in there for the adults,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Yeah. And it used to be that G wasn't just for kids, it was for general audiences. Anybody can go, ages 0 to 120, whatever it is. But they're equated with kids films, and I don't know if it's gone forever or if it's just the audiences. You look at the movies that we watched when we were kids. We watched far beyond G-rated films. They had to come up with PG-13 after what? Gremlins, because that scared the hell out of everybody. I
And
think it was Gremlins.
PG-13s were sometimes worse than R movies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
in some ways. I think
Well,
also
yeah, because there's a certain amount that you don't, that they're allowed to maintain the PG-13 rating. With R, you know what you're getting. PG-13, maybe not,
Yeah, but
but
sometimes R rating you could also get based on curse words,
hmm
which my parents were more okay with than, let's say, maybe like adult activities.
oh yeah,
uh,
my parents were fine with cursing and violence, but nudity, forget about it.
Yeah, like
yeah.
that, not
And
allowed. That
and
never happens.
you have any nudity, it was like R. Just got slapped on that
Yeah,
like with any nudity. I do think there's another theory I have on this, which is baked into the cake of the audience of Toy Story as a series now are people who are like have watched this series for 25. Am I right? 25 years? Is it
yeah.
how long?
Yeah,
So
I think the
now,
first one was 99, I think.
sure. So now, if you were 8 when you saw the first one, you're like 33, 34 now. So I think that they're also creating the movie, understanding that the audience for the movie is not just kids, and
Yeah,
not just in the way that Shrek automatically did that and said, "We know we're not just for kids." I think it was more like,
yeah.
okay, this one we're going to literally look at it and realize our audience is older as well as younger, no doubt.
I'll sign off on that. And I also think the metric by which they rate these films may have changed over the years. You look at films that were rated, say, PG in the 1970s, 1980s, they would have a higher rating now. You look at films that were rated G. I think Planet of the Apes was G. That would have a higher rating now because there's violence, there's lobotomies, there's hints of nudity. Our metrics have changed in what is considered violent, what is considered for that level of a rating. And I think that it's gotten a bit stricter over the years. So films that may have qualified as a G film in the 90s, even early 2000s, are now rated G because our tolerance for violence at that level has changed. I really think that's a part of it as well.
Yeah, it's just all a bit much. Curious to see what happens, and I don't know that I can handle another Toy Story. Toy Story 3 wrecked me,
Oh, God, yes. Yes.
and like
That
they
Yeah.
was
regret giving
unnecessary.
that. They regret giving that a G rating. Like, that one, like I'm crying in the theater. And this fourth one, that's one with Sporky, right, or whatever.
Forky,
Yeah,
yeah.
Forky.
I
Yeah,
love him. Yeah.
so that made me feel a little bit better. But those dolls were so creepy. I was just like, why someone was like, "Do you want your childhood porcelain dolls from your parents' house?" I'm like, absolutely not. Don't want to bring anything that can come to life into my home. So yeah, like I don't know
I
that we need
saw
a
that.
fifth one. Like, I'm good.
I saw that Tales from the Dark Side. I think
Yeah,
hmm
I'm good.
little
Yeah,
reference for you.
Yeah, I don't know. But when you're going to the movies this summer, make sure you're wearing your favorite Oddcast T-shirt.
absolutely. Like this one,
Woo,
for
Joe!
instance. Yeah, because we've got all kinds of stuff that you can bring with you wherever you go. We've got mugs, as Gabe and I always use every week. We've got
That's right.
tumblers, which Gina is now just not using out of principle. We got magnets, hats, t shirts. We've got exclusive designs. We've got hoodies, sweatshirts. All of that and more can be found at jersey-oddcast.printify.me.
So let's talk about our odd poll. I'm gonna do the. We're gonna skip the order this week. We're gonna do the Oddcast Odd Fact first. So I don't know if you
What
know
happens to
this.
Murgatroyd?
I know. In New Jersey, you
Yeah,
can
look at this.
actually be denied a personalized license plate. You can be denied a personalized license plate if you have been convicted of a DUI or reckless driving within the last 10 years.
Mm.
The state also rejects plates considered offensive, and some combinations are permanently reserved for government agencies, dealers, doctors, and collectors. So, yes, there's somewhere in Trenton, there's apparently a team deciding whether your dream plate idea is too weird for the road. I don't know if you knew that. You could be, if you have a DWI, or DUI, I should say, you cannot get a personalized license plate. I didn't know if you knew that.
I don't know that I did know that. I feel like years ago I had a personalized license plate, and I
Then you
feel
got a
like
DUI.
No.
I have never. Thank you very much. No, I was going to
No.
say I feel like that was probably on the paperwork at the time, but I'm like, that doesn't apply to me, so I didn't pay attention to it.
What was your personalized plate?
A BTMOBLE for Batmobile.
Did I know you that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember this.
Oh yeah, it was. I had a black Saturn. I had like bat symbols in
I
the center
remember
of the
that.
hubs. Yeah, and the license plate was BTMOBLE, which a surprising number of people thought that meant that I worked for T-Mobile. I wasn't even getting into that because clearly you're not seeing the bat symbols all over the damn car. But there were a surprising number of police officers that would tail me just to see if I did anything wrong because they wanted to pull over the Batmobile. So that was the last personalized plate that I've gotten.
And is that why you gave it up?
Yes. Yeah, because that started to get a little. Really, I just wanted to pull over the Batmobile. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Gabe, you
Yeah.
used to have not. You didn't have a personalized plate, but you had a benefit plate. I don't know
Sure.
what to call that.
Sure tags. Like sure to please. I had that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of, if you go down the shore, there's a lot of vanity plates. Awful lot of vanity plates. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if there's a connection between people down the shore and vanity plates, but someone should look into doing a study and seeing if there's more people who have second homes down the shore are more likely to have a vanity plate. I don't know. I just noticed working down there for a couple of years, I noticed there were a ton of vanity plates in Cape May
Mm.
County.
I always makes me think. Vanity plates makes me think of Seinfeld.
Okay.
The proctologist had his own. I can't
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
say it, but the proctologist had his own plates.
Yep.
okay.
Yep. They could say it on TV in the '90s. You could say it now if you wanted to.
No, thank you.
No,
And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Our tolerances have changed. So what was rated G in the '90s, now you can't say, which is why there aren't as many rated G movies. You just proved the point.
And
there
I
you
also
go.
think there's certain things in TV shows you wouldn't do. Like you wouldn't do All in the Family now.
No. There was a lot of language used on the TV in the 1970s between All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Jeffersons.
Good
Three's
times.
Company, that whole
Yeah.
conceit with Mr. Roper and Jack. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
couldn't do it now.
Because our yeah.
Oh,
Social
if
mores change. They do.
yeah,
Yes. Yes, they
if
do.
if you are preparing to clean out your parents' house, which I've just almost completed, or if your business is in need of regular dumpster service, you should call United Roll Off.
Looking for fast, reliable dumpster service? Call United Roll-Off Service and Recycling LLC. Family owned by the Grasso family and proudly serving South Jersey since 1999. 3 generations strong, United Roll-Off is your local solution for household cleanouts, construction debris, concrete, and yard waste, with 11, 20, and 30-yard dumpsters ready when you need them. Serving Hammonton and all of Atlantic, Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, and Gloucester counties, they've got the size, service, and local touch you can trust. Visit them at 735 Wiltshires Mill Road, Hammonton, or call 609 561 8287 to get started today. United Roll Off, local, loyal, and ready to haul.
For this week's odd poll, let's talk about New Jersey personalized license plates again. What is the most aggressively New Jersey personalized license plate you've ever seen? Like a shore reference, something like LBI for EVA, forever.
Oh,
Mhm.
Something like sports team loyalties, something like about the Phillies or the Eagles. Your Italian last name that you somehow fit in 7 characters or less, or something only that the driver understands and is very specific, and even the license plate editors or whatever they're called go, I'm hoping this is okay and not offensive. What do you think is the most aggressively New Jersey thing in the license plate?
probably A.
The
Probably
shore
something.
reference?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. That's where I'm going with that one.
I'm gonna say the Italian last
that-
name because there's some of them are so long. Like Gabe and I have short Italian last names. Yours is
It's
what,
eight.
eight
Mine
letters?
is 8 letters. It wouldn't fit. No.
Yeah, but like you take some of the other ones, they're long. You could have some field day with that. Try to
Mhm.
figure that. Try to cram it into a license plate.
I'll go with the sports team one. I think you can be aggressively New Jersey with that if you're creative enough. And of course, it depends on where you are in New Jersey. What sports teams will it be? The New York sports teams? Will it be the New Jersey sports teams? Or will it be the Philadelphia ones? If you're in the middle of
Yeah.
the state,
You
higher
could do fly,
likelihood you have a
fly,
right fly Devils for the New Jersey Devils. Devil
go birds.
DVL
Oh,
LVR maybe the
I'm
Devil Lover.
yeah. I'm sure Go Birds and then G0 Birds or G0B1 RDS.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure they've been
sure.
taken for 40 years. I'm sure of that. Can't
Grandfathered in, so it passes down from father to son
from
to
car to
Yeah.
car to car to car, and they
yeah.
never let it go.
Right.
I'm
Probably
sure
a
of that.
blue plate, right? If
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Which you can
Probably an
bring
old
back.
yellow plate before the blue
oh,
ones.
the template, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
the
god.
template.
Yeah.
Ooh,
hmm
those people. I'm like, when I see a template for you, which are rare now, you're like, oh god, that person's 120.
Yeah, you've had that
Mm-hmm.
car. You've had that car since the 70s, at
Since
least.
Henry Ford pushed it off the
Right.
line. Memorial Day weekend was a little damp, which again we were fine with. What is the weather looking like for the next couple days, Joe?
Since you asked, it sounds like it is time for the Oddcast forecast according to the app on my smartphone and sponsored by Ben Castone Landscaping. Call Ben Castone for all your landscaping needs at 609-561-3452. They're here to keep your yard looking great no matter what the season, and the next 3 days is probably what people were hoping for this past weekend. It's going to be relatively seasonal, which is rare these days.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Wednesday, we're looking at cloudy to partly cloudy, high of 81, a low of 65. Thursday rather, we're looking at a mix of clouds and sun, a high of 82 and a low of 56. And then Friday, we're looking at mainly sunny to partly cloudy, a high of 78 and a low of 58. So this is the weather that people were hoping for Memorial Day weekend. But this is what we got over the next 3 days. So it's what it's looking like.
Okay,
There you
not
go.
bad, not bad. We
Sounds
could
good.
take it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll survive.
we will survive. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. If you want to find us, you can always find us online, jerseyoddcast.com. On TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube. Email jerseyoddcast@gmail.com. You can call us 609-444-6178 or find us where you like to stream all your other podcasts and share us with a friend. We'll be here this week, next week, and beyond. So have a great week, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you and take care.
Take care. Have a great week, everybody.